Hey, Apinder, thanks for joining. Glad to have you again this week. And so I know today's topic we're covering, can AI actually deliver a project on time? So a lot of fun tidbits. Looking forward to just hearing your perspective, your professional experience here. So looking to get started here. I guess just if we start off, what is the biggest myth you've heard about AI and project delivery?
Um, First of all, thank you for welcoming me, and
Yeah.
I'm excited with this session. So, as we start with these questions, the question that you asked right now is very interesting. And since we see a lot of hype going on about AI, it's not a hype; it's actually a transformation, like I call. So this question absolutely makes sense to me. And I think many people would like to hear the answer for it. What's because they know what's going on in the industry. Everything is visible to them. And I think, it's a very relevant question that you've asked. And the biggest myth, according to me, is that people have a fear that AI is going to take away their jobs. And first and foremost, it'll take the jobs for the project managers. So it is I say it is a myth because I feel that it's just not the case. AI is here to support us, to contribute to enhancing operational efficiencies if we let it.
Hmm.
So I think it's a great, powerful enabler that can take care of those repetitive, time consuming tasks, like drafting minutes of meeting or simple tasks like, predictive risk analysis, where PMs spend a lot of time. And once they free up their time from those tasks, they can focus on outcomes and other important things which a PM needs to focus on. So we know that project management isn't just about creating plan and task and tracking tasks. So it's more about critical thinking, solving problems. In fact, I'll say solving the right problems. Then working with different stakeholders, making smart decisions, and using emotional intelligence. So these are really human oriented skills and very much that a PM needs to run a project. So I feel AI is here to enhance our capabilities, and it definitely, can't replace, but it definitely can't replace the value, the strategic insights, and the human leadership that the project managers bring to the table.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so I don't think it's going to take away the project management jobs. That is the common myth that is running around the industry.
Yeah. Are there a few deliverables just from your perspective that
Mhm.
we could really hone in on how AI can assist?
Yes. So I always say it can help in every phase. It could be as simple as drafting minutes of meeting. It could be helping with SOWs. It could be helping with contract generation clause. It could be with planning, creating smarter plans
Oh
based on the
yeah.
historical data if the projects are same. Though every project is unique, which I understand, but if you tweak and give the right commands, right prompts, it can really help you in the newer, unique kind of project plans as well. Then it can also help with governance, as in risk predictor thing, or simple as managing stuff. So that those are more detailed. I'll not get into it because those will go under the portfolio kitty, but we'll definitely talk about it in detail in some other
Yeah.
session.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So, do you think that can AI actually predict project delays better than humans? And do you have a perspective of where it may fall short?
That's an interesting question and a bit of controversial too. So,
Yeah.
I think AI is a great reader and a predictor when it comes to accessing large amount of historical data, or not even historical, just accessing large amount of data. Even if there's some real-time updates or some context or studying some other contextual factors like resource availability, task dependencies. But time it does fall short when there are complex dependencies involved, specifically, when the data that is provided to AI is not organized or very poorly organized, or it is incomplete.
Yeah.
So, it can fall shorter there because the output always depends on the input you give.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I think AI excels at spotting hidden patterns, giving us early warning signs, as I said, the risk predictor thing, and even that even a experienced project manager can miss sometimes because of its ability to read uh, everything very cautiously and analyze everything cautiously. But it certainly needs reconfiguration when there are too many changes coming in, especially in the we are into agile environments where priorities are being redefined very often. There are a lot many changes coming in with respect to portfolio goals, and then it comes down. And I think humans think more strategically and align it with the value that the leadership is expecting. So
Mhm.
again, AI can be a great risk predictor to spot the delays, to spot the risks, to spot the issue, to spot the risks before they become the issue. Even it's not delays, but lot many other factors as well. But in complex cases, I think humans can think more strategically and align it to the way the leadership and the business expects.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. Thank you so much. So if you had a magic wand,
Mhm.
what AI feature would you invent for PMs today?
Wow. First of all, I wish I had one.
Right. I have a
And
few things that,
yeah,
I have my pause here of some things that we would need to restructure with that one, right? So,
right. Specifically when you are struggling with a lot of a lot of different kind of projects at the same time, and you have a lot of
mhm.
vendor kind of environment where you are also have certain vendors and a lot of things going on at the same time, you always feel and you always say, I wish I had a magic wand and I could have done this and that. So I completely
Right.
get it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, the first thing I'll command my magic wand would be to create a AI risk radar. Because that would serve as a kind of automated predictive risk management tool for me, which can take care of any risks before they become issues.
Mhm.
And something and it's not a simple risk radar that I'm talking about, something that can be linked with the BI tools or other project management tools we often use to create the executive dashboards, so
Mhm.
that it also reflects on the executive dashboards, and it can be highlighted in right time for right decisions to the executives. And that way we'll also be prepared for our weekly meetings, and where the team stands, a lot of things. So it is not, I don't want it just to be limited to the spotting the risks, but actually capturing some crucial data. And if I don't know if AI can do that or not, but if AI can capture and indicate other behavioral or change management risks, like changes in stakeholder behavior, or pointing out too many unnecessary changes that are coming in, which are not adding any value to the outcome. It's just like they're coming in and we are resolving it, but it's not adding to the key result or the outcome that we are looking forward to.
Mhm.
So pointing out those kinds of patterns, and which mislead the direction where we're heading towards, I think that
That's
would be
right.
really awesome.
Yeah, I think so too. Can you think of another one where that wand would come in helpful Is it more at the leadership level? Is it more just kind of daily with the teams? Any thoughts and just kind of recommendations that you're kind of seeing, that you can kind of, that you would like to see cleaned up by that AI wand, that magical wand?
Mhm. Yeah, of course, if it can guide, for example, if they are, like I said, the change management stuff and the behavior patterns, for example, if there's some stakeholders who are rigid and some stakeholders, like stakeholder mapping we do, it's some
Yes.
how stakeholders are getting changed, how their engagement is getting changed in the process. If it highlights on time and if we're not getting the responses from them on time, if they're if it's a multi-department kind of a kind of a role, or a multi-department kind of a scenario, and multiple vendors that are there. So if it can highlight, and like it is always in a project, or specifically for the larger transformation projects we have, that one vendor does something and then it moves on to another vendor, but it has to be a sequential order and the work
Correct.
gets stuck. So it's always better if we understand the root cause of those delays. So not just
Yes.
predicting those root cause, but understanding those delays, why they are delays, from what end there are delays. Is it the stakeholder? Is it because of the stakeholders? What kind of stakeholders are causing those issues? What kind of vendors are causing those issues? Where the issues are, and what kind of changes, like I said before, also are unnecessary, which are not adding to outcome, just creating hassles for us.
Yeah.
And one more thing, I think from the process perspective, I think AI can help us in great ways. Because there are at times there's some processes that are broken, or I will not say broken, but they have loopholes. And people who are in industry from so long on the same kind of projects, they know those loopholes, and they kind of try to take advantage of that. So if AI can, comes, send some kind of pop-up, hey, you got to do this as per the process. Hey, you got to do this as per the process to move ahead. I think it'll make our life a lot easier.
That's it. Shutting down those loopholes,
Yeah.
those workarounds that may
Yeah.
not benefit the effort, but just kind of
Yeah.
an individual thing. So spot on
Right.
there. So,
Right.
how do you balance AI insights versus human judgment in decision making?
hmm so it's an interesting question because, and a tricky one too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think balancing AI insights with human judgment comes down to using AI as a smart assistant and not the final decision maker. So AI, as I said before, is great at processing large amount of data, spotting patterns, giving you options you might not have considered, even being an experienced program manager or project manager. But but as a PM, because of your experience and because of a good kind of understanding, right at good kind of understanding, like we say, the bigger picture
Mm-hmm.
than the AI does. So you bring, because of that bigger picture, you bring in the context, the experience, the understanding of people and politics that AI just can't replicate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, AI can be used to make informed decisions, but ultimate responsibility lies with humans here.
That's right.
So that's where I say, we cannot rely on AI to take the decisions. The final decision maker should be human, but AI can play a great role in assisting you and guiding you and helping you to take that final call.
Yeah. I think that's great. Yeah. So, what's one time technology completely failed you during a project?
Yeah, okay, I think I was in my very early career at that time. Not early career, kind of, I had some kind of experience, but not, I was not aware of the complete project management concept at that time. And,
Mm-hmm.
while company and the organization said you're a project manager, but it was more focused on the project coordination kind of a role because, it was my responsibility was more on resource onboarding, scheduling, follow-ups, collaborating. So, I remember once I was, we were doing the scheduling and assigning resources and doing the project coordination stuff. So we opted for a tool, the fancy kind of a tool that became readily available at that time. I'll not name that tool, but that promised to do the resource optimization for you, if you're working on the multiple projects. So we got really excited. We just got the demos and we, started using that project for us. But um, it kept reassigning team members without any context, moving critical people mid sprint, overbooking others, and ignoring some soft constraints like, team dynamics or skill pairing. So it definitely looked good on dashboards, but it created a lot of confusion, missed handoffs, burnouts in the team. So that's where we realized, tech can optimize tasks, but it can't understand the team chemistry and the project rhythm. So we had to, dial it back and reintroduce that human oversight there into the scheduling process. And it was like starting again, everything, replanning and rescheduling and, putting right people at right things. So because we had to, and we were short on time. I remember we had to deliver the planned value we promised to client and it was a very near time deadline that was approaching. So we were in a lot of trouble at that time, but we learned our lessons.
That's good. Thanks for sharing. So I have an interesting question. So you mentioned change management, this is a question I just kind of thought about. So just kind of let me know your thoughts. Is there what is a one thing that you ban forever from AI change management strategies? I just want to touch, I know you mentioned change management. Do you have any perspective there on AI change management? Have you seen it or do you have any thoughts on it? Some do's and don'ts, just kind of, from your experience.
So I haven't used AI for change management yet, but I have been into change management where, I was not on the role of as a change manager, but I, as someone has to, be the change agent who is trying to bring that change.
Adoption.
We had around 15, 20 years experienced people in the same organization. When they were a little resistant when we tried to do that kind of transformation. And it was a very huge transformation with multi-vendor kind of a transformation we did. So they were very resistant on the kind of processes and kind of things we were bringing in. So we had to, at every step of the project plan, we had to take a pause and we had to address their concerns first and to move ahead, because those were application owners also. Some of those were application owners. So, it was really difficult, when it's a huge project, it becomes, and you have, a limited kind of time for every application when you have multiple applications involved. So it becomes really difficult to give time to each and every individual who is kind of resistant. So that's where I think if AI can understand, they were different business units, like 5 business units were there. And, each business unit had their own applications and it had to be transitioned to another vendor and, from 2 vendors to 1 vendor or 4 vendors to 1 vendor. It depends. There's a different kind of plan for everything. So I became the change lead there and we advocated the change agents in every business unit, who would support us and, kind of try to understand the perspective of application owners. So I think now coming back to how AI can help that, for example, if we have one end-to-end project plan, and we have different plans embedded in it for each business unit.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that one of the business unit is creating more problem. However, the
Yeah.
other one is accepting things easily. So if
Mm-hmm.
AI can figure out that, this business unit is going slow, this business unit is giving what kind of issues are popping up there and why things are not moving there. Maybe if we do this, it can help. It can help shorten the time period that we are wasting on having meetings over the same thing again and again.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think studying those kind of change behaviors that
Oh, yes.
can
This is
help,
good.
the
Yeah, that's good.
patterns, to analyze the patterns that can help reduce those kind of issues that we are getting. It will help in the long run. As a portfolio leader, I would say it would help finish things on time without any delays. Though we already have buffers, but we'll be able to finish on time. It would reduce the resistance. It would help us guide what next, how can we reduce it, and we'll have some guidance. If something is, for example, if we have to, at that point we realize, okay, we are not able to do it, we decide. In an agile environment always happen, after 3 months we decide, okay, let's change this portfolio goal, or let's change the portfolio priority. People are bugging us on this kind of a thing or a particular application or whatever. Let's prioritize the other application where people are not resistant.
Yeah.
So, letting us know all those kind of small things, how we can prioritize what over what, and what result it will give us, like how it will help us in positive manner, how it's gonna, what it's gonna do if we prioritize this application or this something over the other part for that particular business unit, how it's gonna impact us. Will it reduce the timeline? Will it overcome the risk of getting more change orders? Would it help cutting down the cost? Because the effort cost, I mean, the effort that we
Yeah.
are putting in, because we are paying resources, the resource
Yep.
cost or something. So all those kind of things, these are something that PM is struggling with and putting mind across. If even if AI can give us some hints on that, it'll definitely help the project managers to think on those lines more quickly than we usually do.
What about a model for like surveys? Do you think surveys, if you survey and then you use that as a basis for data, a data set, do you think that perhaps there could be some change there from an AI perspective using the information collected in those surveys as a starting point for adoption, or any thoughts there?
I haven't thought about it yet, but
Mm-hmm.
I think surveys can be a great starting point because it will give us a kind of picture of where we stand till date. So, what people are wanting and what they
Mm-hmm.
are expecting, and how they want to run that particular program. I think it'll set a good base for us, and then of course we can tweak the workflows, or we can do things like we do. We tweak things, we prioritize, deprioritize. We can keep on doing that on the way.
Perfect. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
good. I think that's something to consider from a change management
Yes.
perspective. So,
Absolutely.
um, have you seen
And just when
AI?
we say survey, it should not be, sending a one survey to everyone. I always say take up various one business unit at one time and call the key people. I think I
Yep.
spoke about it in one of my sessions. Talk to those people, call those key people, have a business unit meeting with them. Okay, this is what we are thinking. Take their, involve them in that process and make them feel heard, so that when you come up with a survey, it doesn't feel like they are being, like information is being taken from them. They feel
Yeah.
like they're trying to improve something. They are trying to help the organization grow. They are together. They are part of transforming that same thing. So I think
So
even for the surveys, we have to do that not one-on-one, but a complete business unit kind of a meeting where we in all the critical people there.
so that leads me to my next question. Critical people, are we talking about steering committee members, perhaps directors,
No,
VPs, or the
no,
people that are actually doing the work?
no. I'm talking about people who are doing the work.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Because talking to steering committee would not make sense. They want it to be done. They have given you the goals, and that's how it is flowed. That's why we are working to achieve those goals and outcomes. And probably people have resistance towards it, how we are doing it, why we are doing it, what is it that has caused it. They get fear in their minds that maybe this thing will take away our jobs or something. So, sitting with them or talking to them and addressing those things and making them part of it makes them aligned and, stay confident that we are also a part of it. So we'll not be left behind in the process.
Yeah. And that makes me think about sentiment analysis. If we could send out an anonymous survey and we could collect like folks that say good and bad and start to categorize those, and perhaps that could lead to also a greater AI, perhaps machine learning thinking, we're collecting the sentiments of those who take the survey, those who actually do the work to create some real change. So that's something to consider.
Yeah,
so thank you for sharing. Yep. So, have you seen AI actually help reduce scope creep, or is it still a human problem?
Okay, so it's a great question. And I think, AI can spot the scope creep and probe humans, highlighting where we are deviating. But only humans can prevent it by taking the right action at right time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of a tricky question, but I feel it's a very much human thing, but AI can help us prevent that. So I haven't used AI really to predict the scope creep, or I don't know how it will work in future. But I'm sure if we create the right workflows, with the AI tools on the AI tools that we're using, those tools can definitely flag risks when tasks or requirements start creeping in that aren't matching to the base scope or the current scope that we have, or budget or timelines, whatever we have. If it isn't matching, at least that kind of AI tools can highlight us, flag those things for us, and like I said before, it can serve as a great predictor to detect patterns frequent backlog changes, which is kind of a sign for us. Then, if the priorities are shifting again and again, that could be one sign. If we are expanding user stories again and again, that could be a sign. So, AI can help us alert before something becomes a real issue.
Yeah.
So, it's, I'll not say stopping scope creep here, but it because that still calls for clear communication, stakeholder alignment, and very strong boundaries that only a human can manage effectively. But AI can definitely help us spot those things and help us guide through.
Yeah. But have you considered perhaps there may be a dashboard that tracks requirements from the start? And if there's a deviation of those requirements, and perhaps maybe there could
Yes.
be some methods in
Yes.
place to, I
Yes,
think that's
absolutely.
fair.
And I've used that kind of BI dashboard before.
Yes.
We did not have AI at that time. So I used that kind of BI. It clearly deviated where we are, where we are not. But with AI coming in, I think, like you said, it can definitely add more value. It can spot things early and it can guide us. The BI dashboards just guide you that, yes, once it is done, it shows up on the dashboard, But AI predicts it early before it becomes an issue. So that's the difference I see.
Yeah. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So just last question today. So what's a red flag that a company is adopting AI for projects too fast or for the wrong reasons? So I'll read the question again. So what's a red
That's
flag that a company is adopting AI for projects too fast or for the wrong reasons? I think this is
that
huge. So
is
just
yeah,
so eager to
that
hear
is
your thoughts on this.
right. That is super important question which people really don't understand. I'll not say people, even the organizations, or sometimes the leadership doesn't get
Mm,
it. Everyone in the company, even if it's board of members or something, they just want to do AI because everyone else is doing it.
that's right. That's right.
But it should not be like that. We always say, try to know the problem you're trying to solve with that. So it's
Mm-hmm.
very important. Even it's not just for the AI thing, for everything, it's very important to understand the problem you're trying to address with that.
Yeah.
So, implementing AI, coming back to AI, implementing AI in organization is itself a huge enterprise transformation we are trying to do. So we need to be very careful when we talk about any transformation, like I said before, be it AI or any transformation that we are trying to do, any digital transformation we are trying to do, any enterprise transformation that we are trying to do. How I define it, it's all about creating success together with outcome-driven models, adaptive portfolio management with value-driven matrix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if we focus if we keep focusing on chasing trends than improving the outcomes, it's outcomes like efficiency or decision making or team support, AI or any digital adoption can become really messy, expensive, and misaligned with the real project needs that the organization has.
Spot on.
So
Yeah.
that is one red flag I see. The other and the most important one I see is that no training or change management in action. So if teams don't understand how to use those AI tools or how will they affect them in positive manner, it leads to confusion, resistance, and poor adoption.
Mm-hmm.
So AI should serve as a strategy, not become the strategy itself.
Yeah. Great.
So I mean, by this term, AI should serve as strategy, not become the strategy. What I mean is, AI can serve as an enabler to the organization to reach their goals, like maybe improving operational efficiencies or quick time to market or delivering
Mm-hmm.
value to the customer faster, etc. But
Mm-hmm.
it cannot replace your core business vision, purpose, or the direction you have behind it.
That's right. That's right. Spot on. I think that's fair. And I want to thank you for this incredible dialogue. I hope the listeners have learned so much. I definitely can say that I've learned so much. So I want to thank you again for your time, Apinder, and looking forward to those future sessions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shanta. It was a pleasure being with you here. And it did not sound like I'm, having a podcast or something. It was like a friendly discussion we are having and
I agree.
delivering value to people.
I agree. I agree. Thank you so much, Apinder.
Thank you. Have a lovely day ahead.
You too.